So my call to go has to do with my relationship with Matthew. When we met and he asked me out, I thought it was like, oh, this is cool. Like, this will be like my first date ever, and I'll probably never see this guy again. But no, we kept in contact and we got into a long distance relationship. And, you know, I kind of actually quickly found out that Matt didn't have a very deep relationship with the Lord. He had a background in the Catholic Church, and he'd been kind of out of that and disillusioned. And, you know, I found myself kind of splitting my life in two, just like we talked about at the well today. And one side, I was like, he's only ever seen my secular side, but he knows that I'm involved in church and I spend a lot of time at church, but he doesn't really know about like my relationship with Jesus. And I didn't want to be preachy. I didn't want to compromise our relationship because I was having so much fun having someone to talk to at the end of the day. And it kind of came to a crisis because at the end of the day, I do love the Lord, and Jesus is and was a huge part of my life. And it actually came to a head. I just felt so convicted by the Lord. Like, how can you claim to even possibly love this guy if you're not willing to share with him like the greatest love of all? And I was like, wow, okay, Jesus. But I'm like, I had to really just kind of come to a point where I had to be willing to lose that relationship in order for him to have his relationship with the Lord. So I'd come to the point, like, Jesus helped me come to the point where I was willing to let go of him in favor of sharing the gospel with him. And I actually shared the gospel with him 2 years ago on Easter night. It was a Sunday Easter night. And, you know, he had so many questions and, you know, we labored with each other with a lot of things. And, you know, for the longest time, I was just kind of like ashamed because I grew up in church and I spent all of my adult life hearing like, you know, don't mission date and things like that. And I felt like I definitely fell into that. I definitely, like, this relationship didn't start as holy as it could have been. And I thought that, you know, that was something to be ashamed of. And while I didn't do our relationship right, and maybe it didn't start well on the right foot, the Lord still redeemed it. And I was called to move forward in a relationship with Matthew. And let me tell you, I literally asked God, like, if this isn't for me, I need you to cut it out of my life, because I don't know who else I would want to ever talk to again, you know? And the Lord, to my surprise, every time I would ask that, kept affirming, like, no, he's growing. No, I've got a plan for him. So, I mean, I was somewhat of a willing participant, but I was wary. And I was called to just keep this relationship in faith and constantly asking the Lord to be in the midst of it and to redeem it day after day after day. And that's my call. That was my call. And now I'm going to get married to that same guy. So I guess, yeah, ultimately the Lord was just like, I've got a plan for both of you. And it's beautiful. My name is Raven, and I'm called to go.